garage working on the Ford Free T again. So I got the other door jamb area made, and we're moving pretty good. The body's nice and solid. We got the front and rear half connected, doors latch, stuff's starting to come together and actually is solid enough we could start fixing some of the other issues on the car. So one of the big things that's been asked on social media and on YouTube as well is what's going on with this rear bead area, because as some of you guys that have followed this from the beginning, this used to be a touring car, a 3-door touring. So this is actually the rear seating area. So the rear wheel arch area is right here. And we want to get rid of this because we're now, of course, moved it forward, made it a 2-door Roadster. And we need to get rid of this bead here, and this whole area is just kind of a mess. There's a bunch of fiberglass down in here. It's rotten. It sucks. So I want to tackle this portion of the car next. While we have it on the table, it's really easy to work on because I can sit in a chair and kind of work instead of it being on the ground on the wheels and tires. It's going to be, I'm going to be laying on the ground working on it. So I'm going to work on roughing in a piece here and hopefully get something made and get rid of this area that is bothering me more than it's probably bothering you. So let's get started. So you can see I did a little slicing and dicing. So I laid out this panel, this paper on the panels, and started kind of cutting and making my lines just to see where everything was at, and I slowly cut it down. So where we're at, this is basically the panel that I want to make in the end. It's going to make the side of the car look a little smoother, flow a little better, and also get rid of some fiberglass and get rid of that stupid body line that we don't want that tells you that it used to be a touring car. So the way I think I'm going to break this up, I have to see how it goes. Like a lot of these projects, they kind of feel it out as they go, and you find the best way. It'll kind of show you as you're working on it. So I think I want to make this part out of a piece, and then I think I want to make this section out of a second piece. I split it up into 2 separate quadrants in case I decide to do it that way. But the big problem is I could probably make this out of one part, but the big problem is this has some shape to it, so I need to put this on the wheel and put a bit of shape into it to get what I want. And with having this piece here kind of floating around, it's going to make it difficult to shape that section. So I think it'll be a little easier just as far as manhandling it to make a seam right about here, and then I can weld this section to it before we actually weld it to the car. Get it fitting nice, finish out the seam. Be pretty easy in the end. It'll be a lot easier than me trying to manipulate this piece as I'm working this section on the wheel. So I'm going to get this laid out, this piece on a piece of metal. We'll get it in on the wheel, try and get the shape brought in on it, and then we'll start fitting it. And we'll do the same thing with this piece, leave them overlap. cleco them together, and then once we're ready, we'll scribe it, cut it, and be ready to go. I'm not going to cut anything on the original body until we get these pieces made. They're kind of clecoed in place. I'm happy with how they look, and then we'll make the cuts that we need to get it welded in. But that's kind of my game plan. So get to laying out some metal, making some cuts, and then doing the fun stuff.
Alright, so we got the two pieces made. Mike and Andrew were working on these two pieces, and the front piece here, and got it fitting pretty good. We ended up notching out the front here where it comes up over the frame. When we build the exhaust on the car, we're actually going to have the header come down and run right here. So it will kind of just flow right over this area where it steps into the frame. And we clecoed it all in place, and I welded the seam together so that it's now one piece. Now we can take it on and off with all the clecos, and we can adjust the final little bit of fitting and the shape in the wheel. I can sand this weld seam here and get it fitting pretty good. We're going to leave it clecoed in for now. So that's how you can build it out of two pieces. If you have a smaller wheel or smaller tools, you can definitely do it out of two pieces. Just takes some time. and you got to make sure you get everything fitting right. The other side, we're going to do it out of one piece, and this is the piece for the other side that's all cut out. We just have it rough cut, so you have extra material at the top there. So we're going to use this piece here, and we're going to make it out of one piece on the other side. Hopefully we get both of them clecoed in, and then we'll be ready to start cutting and welding. Alright guys, so I got this other piece shaped up. It's roughly the shape that we want and the size that we want. And it took a lot less time because we made it out of one piece. Well, that's because I have a large English wheel that I can actually fit this whole thing in and work it pretty easy. If you have a smaller English wheel, you can split it into two pieces like I did and you weld it up, no problem at all. It just takes a little more time. Now that I have this all fit up, we can do some more fine-tuning of the shape to get it fitting really good before we cut it and then get ready to weld it together. We're going to show you that in the next episode. So that's all I got for this one. As always, we try and do videos once a week when possible. Tuesdays are usually the free tea, and Fridays are the Sweetheart Roadster when we have a video going for that. So if you like what you're watching, share with your friends, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks guys. Catch you later.